So I want to talk about something that I experienced personally.
Okay.
So a lot of you may or may not know that I used to work in finance. I used to work in, and I used to do estate planning. We used to work with estate planners directly to carve out particular plans, because what people don't know is that this is custom tailored to you. This is not a one size fits all, like you just said earlier. It is literally custom tailored to you, and as your needs grow or as they diminish, you're going to have to custom tailor your own plan as you continue throughout your life events. One of the things that I experienced personally, and this broke my heart, related around marriage, and then divorce, and then death, and not having a proper will, and children, and stepchildren. And to just give you kind of a nutshell of the scenario, because you know where I'm going with this, we had a situation where there was a married couple, assets passed on to the mother, and the mother, obviously, they had children. She remarried, never did anything with any of the estate planning side for the assets from her late husband. And I remember having to cut a check when she passed, because she got married, never put a will in place, and having to cut a check that went directly to her stepkids, and nothing went to her actual children. Now, probate and things like that, it went through litigation for years and years, but it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of frustration, and a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
One of the things I feel is really important when I start thinking about estate planning is I always tie back to that one particular scenario where I had to cut a check to these absolute strangers, and the kids had to be cut out because there was no estate planning, or at least proper estate planning in place. Have you ever seen anything like that? And what can people do to kind of take advantage of that when it comes to
blended families?
Yes, that's it.
That's what we're talking about here, is blended families. And when we have blended families, there's an extra layer or an extra urgency of planning, because the default, if there is no plan, can really mess up what your intentions are, what you would like to see. And it leaves families or children disinherited sometimes. So it's a super important thing to think about if you're in a blended family. Blended family means when there's a couple coming together with children from previous relationships. Because a lot of times, even if it's just done poorly, those sweetheart estate plans where everything goes to my spouse, and then everything goes to my spouse if I die, then what happens to those kids? Because what happens is that plan, if not done properly, ends up disinheriting one of those spouse's kids. So or the default law, if there's no plan, might do that as well, depending on the scenario.
Yeah, it's wild.
So it's crazy.